Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are and what time it is. It's your boy, SaleenDriver. That's me. Coming to you with episode number 120 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver. The show about nothing in particular. The longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. Sorry for the late start. I tried to get home as quick as I could. I had a 1:30 appointment. It's now just a little after 3. And the first thing we're going to do is time out Jay Chippies for being a moron. I love you, Jay, but you can go in the corner for a while. It's a thing, you know. He comes in, he makes a silly post, and then I time him out, and then I leave him alone for the next 2 hours. Boy, he is persistent. Put that one in timeout too. I can play this game as long as you want to, Jay. That's not a problem. So yeah, I had the appointment at 1:30. Got done what I needed to get done, and then tried to get home as fast as I could, considering traffic and traffic around here with all the tourists and all the part-time residents. I did my best. Pizza Woman's here, my number one troll killer. How you doing, my dear? And Brandon Pratt. Brandon Pratt is like the first person here. The second person here. Usually Brandon shows up much later than now. CJ's here, one of 2 Georgia Tech fans that I know. Of course, he's not sporting a Georgia Tech icon today. He's sporting something from the Idiot League. And I'm sorry I had to miss last week's live stream. Something came up. It is a busy time for me and my family dealing with various things, and it's not going to slow down anytime in the near. I know who it is, CJ. I'm just fucking with you. It's just a busy time, and they're not going to get any better in the near future. They're probably not going to get any better until summertime, really, but we'll see. Steve Pearson's here, one of my watch buddies. Good to see you, sir. Also a Georgia fan, but that's okay. I do have a headache today. I unfortunately, one of my several health problems is I suffer from chronic headaches. It's a side effect of one of my medications. I've had a headache all day. It's not going to go away. I'll do my best to hang with it. But if I end up getting to be in too much pain, I'll just end the stream early. But I'll try and go for the full, till 5 or so. Ballard's here. Good to see Ballard Sports Media. Who Ballard, he's working hard. He's pumping out a lot of videos around. I guess there's some kind of playoff season going on in some sports league I could give a shit about. But he's doing his very, very best to keep up with all that nonsense. So good on him. If you're not already subscribed to Ballard's channel, you should probably go over there, especially if you like football at other levels besides college football, which I don't. But that's just me. Yeah, I eat very regularly, Pizza Woman. If being a diabetic, non-insulin diabetic, I do eat regularly to make sure that I have something in my system to keep my blood sugar as level as possible. I drink lots of water. I've gone over to non-sugary soft drinks. I try to limit myself to one a day. It's either a Mountain Dew Zero or a Coke Zero. But it's a side effect of one of the medications I'm on. I'm fairly susceptible to headaches, and it's just one of those things where if you catch it early enough, you might kill it. But if you don't catch it early enough, it's going to be with you all day, and unfortunately, it's going to be with me all day. Albert Sancho is here. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, P-Dub. I appreciate the concern. But, I've had, I'm in my upper 50s now. I've had the diabetes since I was 40. I'm pretty well versed in knowing how to keep it level, although I have had to change medications on occasion. It's a thing. Slim Shady Kane, he of the all caps variety. Good to see Slim here. So what's going on out there in the world now that we are 3 weeks past the end of college football season? Not a lot to talk about, really. In terms of that, I mean, we're well into the the off season. Going to last right on through till August, with a brief break around April for various spring games. See, baseball hasn't started yet, which that means you raving insomniacs have no way of falling asleep. National Bitches Association is playing, but since I don't care about that garbage league, I have no interest there. Hockey. Hockey is a surprise for me this year, insofar as I really didn't expect my beloved and long-standing fandom Boston Bruins to be doing at all well this year. I mean, the team is getting a bit old, although they do have some good young talent. I didn't really expect them to be a particularly good team this year, but with the, thank God, retirement of Tuukka Rask, who couldn't stop a puck moving at 10 miles an hour if his life depended on it, and putting in a couple of good young goaltenders or younger goaltenders. My Bruins are the class of the NHL. They're the number one team in the NHL overall. And just last night beat Montreal in Montreal, which nothing made me happier than watching the end of the game and watching all those frog pussies leave the stadium angry and quiet when they realized that their team was going to lose to the Bruins. And nothing makes me happier than watching Montreal fans angry at their team. It makes me happy. Battle Angels here. Good afternoon to you, my dear. Sorry about your little car problem. Hopefully you've got that solved or are getting it solved now. It's never a lot of fun to have a puncture, and it's a non-repairable puncture, and you have to replace the tire. Let's see. Tomorrow. Okay. Well, hopefully it won't leave you. Hopefully the car didn't leave you stranded. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I am going to grab the link here, copy that, and drop the link into the chat. And hopefully, at least Slim will come on board and help me carry the show for a little while. And other folks want to come in too. Battle Angel wants to come in. Battle Angel hasn't come into StreamYard in like forever. And Battle and BA, I thought you were going to be starting up another weekly live stream show. I forgot who you were potentially going to be doing the show with. Was it Friction Vixen, or it was somebody? I remember talking about it on here a few weeks ago when I was wondering aloud whether or not Lou would let you use his studio equipment and do the show from his studio, which we all know is a room in his apartment or something. And he said flat out no, he wasn't going to let you do that. I thought that was funny. Still waiting to get your stuff set up. Who are you doing it with? I forgot who it was. Please enlighten me. Nate the Great is here, or Newt the Groot, or Newt the Great, or Nate the Groot, or whatever the hell his name is this week. He's here, so that's a good thing. I guess Jay Shipes gave up on me. Don't know why. Jay Shipes is a good dude. He comes in, he makes a driver comment or something like that. I time him out, and then I leave him alone for the rest of this stream. Battle Angel says I'll have different people co-hosting. Ooh, can I please? Can I please? Can I do it, please? Let me co-host with you. That will be fun. We could call it what we could call it? The purple-haired one and the King of the Jews. No, that's too long. Purple and blue? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, we'll call it something. Oh, good. Battle Angel's gonna let me co-host. That's good. Just have to plan that out for a good day to do that. Oh, thank you, Pizza Woman. I appreciate that. I'll try not to be my usual boring self. I think that's I don't know. Well, whenever I'm on Lou's morning show, which I haven't done in a while, I don't know if he'd ever let me on again. But every time I go on there, everyone accuses me of killing the show by being boring. I said, "What do you want from me? I am who I am." Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the news, but I'm sure you've seen all the top secret document scandals that are running around. At first it was Trump, and then it was Pudd'nhead, and now it's Trump's former Vice President Pence. And I saw an article today, I haven't seen another one, that good old Jimmy Carter, who I'm unfortunately old enough to remember when he tried to destroy the country, he has documents too. Now, I'm thinking this is not a problem with the politicians anymore. I think this is we're crossing party lines, we're crossing political eras. I'm thinking it's a National Archives problem at this point. I'm thinking that the National Archives needs to be looked at as a bunch of people who don't know what the fuck they're doing with respect to keeping track of their documents. I mean, if I go to a public library, which I haven't done in like decades, but if I check a book out at a public library and I forget to return it, they're all over me like hair on a gorilla. I mean, they're sending letters, they're making phone calls. You know, you have a book. Where's the book? Return the book. And if you don't return it in time, they start fining you. Now, libraries can do that over a simple library book, but our National Archives can't seem to keep track of top secret documents. I mean, somehow we got to look into that. I think we've finally figured out that the problem isn't the politicians. The problem is the National Archives are run by a bunch of monkeys. No offense to Loose Cat. But you know who's glad about all these other scandals besides himself is Trump. Because all of a sudden, Trump was out there alone on an island. You know, ooh, he has top secret documents. Is he selling them to the Russians? Well, now Puddinhead's got a problem. Pence has a problem. Possibly Jimmy Carter has a problem. Maybe even the Marxist Muslim has a problem. You know, who knows who else has a problem? But all of a sudden, Trump's problem looks like no problem anymore. It looks like a non-starter. It looks like a big nothing story because it's all over the damn place. I think it's hysterically funny, but I'm a politics junkie, and so I sit back and watch all this, and I think it's hysterical. But nobody else wants to talk about that, so never mind. Pizza Woman says I'm not a show killer. Thank you, Pizza Woman. I appreciate that. CJ's talking about the No Fun League and Joe Burrow. I wonder if Tiger Cat's ears are burning now that somebody's talking about Joe Burrow. Pizza Woman wants Joey B to get a ring. Well, Brandon Pat agrees with me. They're all crooks. Yeah, they all are crooks. But yeah. Anyway, let's see what else. Talked about hockey. Don't want to talk basketball. Don't want to talk football, pro football. Talk about politics, and everyone's going to leave the damn chat. There's only 9 people in here anyway, so. Yeah, well, Albert, the only reason I watch the news now is to get the local weather report, and then I turn it off. That's a good point, CJ. I mean, I'm not following the No Fun League, but I did notice that last year's Super Bowl winners, the Rams, not only had a losing record, didn't make the playoffs, but the team seems to be falling apart according to radio stories that I hear. So I don't know. Was the Rams win last year a fluke? Yeah, that's also a good point, Albert. You watched the news. Yeah, you didn't have to retract that. Something's going on in California. That's for damn sure. This is a state with some of the most restrictive gun laws in the country, and the most left-wing population in the country, and yet, so far in 2023, those people are gunning each other down with reckless abandon. What the hell? What the hell's going on in California? I mean, they're slaughtering each other in wholesale amounts. It's kind of sad, actually. Well, finally, a like-minded individual in Slim. How
Yeah.
you doing, sir?
Well, I was having an okay day, and it just took a turn for the worse. That's why I'm so late. I just had to make a bunch of phone calls.
Oh,
Hey
I
guys.
didn't do anything, did I?
No, it wasn't you. Actually, I just found out that I've got to drive to Georgia uh, next week because my stepdad's mother passed away
Sorry
today.
if you hear noise.
Your stepdad's what?
I said my stepdad's mother passed away today.
Oh,
God.
I am sorry about that, sir.
Yeah.
That's never a good thing. What's up, Nate? How you doing?
No, but it's not. It's one of those. It wasn't totally unexpected. I mean, she's been kind of trending downhill for the past year and a half.
Yeah, I can relate. Unfortunately, I can relate.
Yeah, it is what it
Well,
is. I mean, it sucks, but you know, luckily I got to see her not that long, probably about a year and a half ago, right before she really started getting sick.
well, they say death is a part of life.
It is.
I didn't. I mean, I understood that saying logically for years, but it never really kind of hit me until this past year. And yeah, well, it is what it is. And I'm also getting a crash course in post passing machinations. Dying in this country is not easy on the people that are left behind. That is for sure.
Well, you can make it easier on them.
He did. It's still not easy.
Well, it's expensive to die these days too.
Yeah. It was not inexpensive, but all the stuff that goes to settling the estate, even with an ironclad will and testament, um, is tough, and
Don't believe me.
it takes a while.
I can relate to that one because me and my wife had to deal with one stuck in probate court for better part of a decade.
All right, I'm back.
This isn't probate. We're not in probate. We're just going through the normal. I'm led to believe this is the normal routine for this kind of thing. This is what normally goes on, and it's not a hell of a lot of fun to watch from the sidelines, and it doesn't solve itself quickly.
Oh no.
How's everyone doing?
I'm just talking from the perspective of an abnormal one, you know, somebody contesting a will and then all those fun trips to court and all this other bullshit.
Well, fortunately, my family situation is not that, but it's still not a lot of fun to deal with, especially when you're trying to properly honor and mourn the person who passed, and then you get hit with all these choices and decisions you have to make.
Nice.
By the way, while I'm thinking of that, I don't know. Hey, Block 6'2", how you doing, man?
How you doing, Saleen?
I gotta cover something real quick because I understand this has been a topic of question on other channels that we're all familiar with. It is my intention to be at the Slob Olympics in March. I don't know why people are thinking that I wasn't going to be there. I never said I wasn't. In fact, I remember saying that I was planning on going. I've made a hotel reservation.
I haven't heard that.
I think
I've heard that on a couple of streams. Nobody was saying I wasn't going. They were just asking, does anyone know if SaleenDriver is going or not?
Yes.
And nobody seemed to have a definitive answer. Well, the definitive answer today, January 25th, 2023, is I have every intention of going unless something comes up.
Okay.
Now, see, I heard a rumor, and may have even been the one that started it, that Golden Blue Dude wasn't going to be there, but that's the only one that I've heard.
Okay, well,
and he still hasn't graded his name on it, the trophy.
Well, that's not a rumor. That's a fact.
I know. I thought it was funny.
well, there was controversy in last year's Slav Olympics. Obviously, I didn't attend. I wasn't able to. I heard there was what was it? The 40-yard dash got kicked out of the of counting in the final standings, and that altered the final standings and so on. And I just I said, well, that's terrible, but I wasn't there, so I'm not going to express an opinion on it.
Yeah, there was a lot of talking about.
Well, that cold weather isn't good for old bones and old joints anyway.
True
Well,
fact.
that's true. That's true.
True fact.
But I was under the impression that. Well, wait. I mean, it was Big Dog Brett was in the lead or something like that. He doesn't strike me. Or he doesn't strike me as a particularly old person.
We're not gonna rehash all that.
No, I don't want to rehash it either. I'm just saying there was controversy. I got
there was no controversy. Golden Blue Dude won.
Yeah, I mean, I got like 3 or 4 different versions of what happened, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I got other things to think about, so I'll just stay on the sideline
Why am I so
where I belong."
But yeah, what was I gonna say? That there was shit. What was I gonna say? Something about Salt Olympics, but after.
Jeez, Nate, you kiss your mother with that mouth?
No, but I do it myself.
Hey, it's Slim. If something's going on in the background, it sounds like 2 dogs are fighting or something.
Is that better?
No, I mean it just sounded like something was going.
I had the window open. I'm smoking a cigarette.
Where are you today?
The frozen side of hell, apparently.
So that could be anywhere north of the Florida-Georgia border.
Actually, hell might not be too far off. I'm headed to East St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis. That's not far from me.
No, not St. Louis, Nate. East St. Louis.
Oh,
well, I hope you have your Kevlar.
I do got a couple of 45s.
Well, that in East St. Louis, that'll help. Rick Sanchez is here. What nonsense am I spewing today? Oh, the usual nonsense, Rick. Like I said in my last video, my last walking and talking video, I got plenty of opinions on plenty of subjects. I ain't afraid to express them, and I can usually back them up.
It's just the young folks call it nonsense. Those of us that are old enough, we still call it common sense.
Yeah, and Hoagie just popped in. How you doing, sir?
I call it common sense.
Well, I mean, I was raised in a different era than most people in here, Slim. I mean, I got a few years on you, but you seem to be, I would call you a throwback.
Technically, by the year I was born, I would be a millennial, I think.
Yeah, but you don't.
What am I then?
You don't act like a millennial.
No, I don't.
What am I then? I don't know. Generation S or whatever it's called now.
Well, how old are you, Nate?
Well, I was born in 2001. I'm 21, so.
Okay,
Oh
so
God,
you would
you're
be,
you're
you would
you're a
be-
Gen Z. Jesus.
yeah, you're Gen Z. You're not quite as bad as the millennials, but yeah. Now, depending on what place you read, I'm either right at the end of Baby Boomer or right at the beginning of Gen X. It just depends on which website you look at.
All right, so
Yeah,
we'll call you an ex boomer then.
or
Yeah.
X-Men.
Or an ex-boomer. Yeah, that'll work.
I'm Wolverine. Shut up.
Rick Sanchez says, and for the record, I'm older than Slim. I just don't look 10 years older like he does.
Damn.
Well, when you live a life as rough as mine, it happens.
And is Sanchez a father?
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, if there's a God, he's not. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, being a parent will put years on your ass, real fast.
Well,
yeah, well, I wouldn't. I was talking much more nefarious than that. Like I said, I've lived a very rough life.
so
Jacob Watson.
I figured this out when I turned 21, or I was getting older at the time and stuff. When I was younger, the time was slow, and when I was getting older, the time's going a little faster. And once I'm older right now, it's getting a lot faster, like time wise.
Oh, and you know what else is pissing me off a little bit?
Oh shit! What?
I sent that. I did that contest at the end of the year. Gave away a watch to who was it, Ramajama Taylor, or whatever his name was.
Oh, Raymond James. Yeah.
Who I believe is AKA Crimson Brave.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it is
is.
because anyway, I sent him the watch. He never said if he got it. He never said thank you. Nothing like that. You know
That could
bothers me.
That should piss me off too.
You know, I mean, I sent a watch. I mailed it out. You know.
Yeah.
He gets it. Doesn't even email me. Got the watch. I like it. Thanks a lot, Saleen. Nothing.
Yeah, if I were him or Prince Brave, which is I'm not, thankfully, but if I were him, I would just say thank you. I like it. There you go. Simple.
So Slim was not wrong. There was shenanigans. The shenanigans was on the guy who received the watch.
I didn't say where the shenanigans were. I just said there were shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hoagie, I'm what, 6 years older than you. Oh, and by the way, shout out to DVD.
Yes.
He just had his 56th birthday.
Damn.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Are you reading these comments? These people in here crying about waking up at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my god!
I wish I only had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
I wish I could sleep through to 5:30 in the morning, but I have to get up at I get like 2:30, 3 o'clock, because old man, and then try and go back to sleep, and about 7 or 8 times out of 10 I can get back to sleep, but there's some days that I'm up at 3 and that's the end of it. It ain't nice, but let's see. Oh, Shipes is back. That's good. Let's see.
Well, at least we know he's not in jail.
Well, I timed him out because he was being silly.
Oh, so he was in YouTube jail.
Well, I timed him out like 20 minutes ago. He's just fine, or 30 minutes ago. He's just finally getting back to me. But he comes in with Hyundai driver, NFL driver, this driver, that driver. How you enjoying the playoffs now? So time him out.
Sorry to interrupt, but
It's
Ohio
the game.
State man. Ohio State man. I know you're not in here, but here's a tissue for you.
Who?
Ohio State, man.
Oh, well, I don't know. They came within one play of winning the damn thing and ending
yet
Georgia's
they blew it.
dream. But you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and then Georgia was both lucky and good. So,
I mean, yes,
know.
realistically, yes, they were well matched, but Georgia was little more talented.
Oh, Georgia's got talent to burn.
Yeah, and plus, I know Michigan's they're nowhere near Georgia's level, but they're like how I tier this S tier, which is beyond A tier, which is really elite, not elite, no, great. S tier is elite, A tier is great, B tier is good. Well, I'm not gonna do all teams, but Georgia's in S tier. Bama is an A tier. I'm sorry, Bama fans.
Brandon Pratt, Chiefs fans have been saying that every year since
Oh my God,
2019,
Chiefs fans.
and it hasn't worked out so well for you. All I heard was how they were going to manhandle Tampa Bay, and didn't really work out too well for them.
Nope. Wait, yeah.
Tampa went out like a bitch, didn't they?
Yeah, to the fucking Cowgirls. Sorry for my language.
I mean, I wasn't surprised.
I know anything. The only thing I know about Tampa, because I live in the area, and the local news stations were, just inundating us with Tampa versus Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I wasn't surprised that they had played like crap all year.
Yeah. Now everyone's consumed around here with, is Brady going to come back? No, he's not going to come back.
He's freaking Tom Brady.
He might. Wouldn't surprise me if he did.
He's not going to come back to Tampa. He's going to be somewhere else.
Wouldn't surprise me if he came back.
Then the Bucks fire their offensive coordinator and a whole bunch of other underling coaches. I said, you fired the wrong damn coach.
And also, speaking of firing off coordinator,
that was such a cop out. That really was.
What happened?
Them firing the OC and the offense.
I mean, it wasn't Leftwich's fault. The team fell apart offensively. It was the head coach. He deserves to be about it. He
wasn't even
to be a head coach about as much as I do.
It wasn't even the head coach's fault. Your offense didn't produce because you lost 3 starting offensive linemen before the season started.
Yeah, they didn't run the ball very much.
Your receivers couldn't stay. Well, they couldn't run the ball. Not through the crap offensive line they were having to field.
Yeah,
your receivers couldn't stay healthy between Scotty Miller and Julio Jones. Godwin was on it. Was what 9-10 months removed. From an ACL. I didn't expect much out of him this year. It's usually the second year back where they start to get their production back.
No. Well, they won the division with a losing record. Good on them.
Yeah.
So who's left in the no fun league now? It's KC.
I think it's Eagles and
Kansas. Kansas City against the Bengals
again,
and
Eagles, and then San Francisco.
Yeah, the Eagles in San Francisco.
So, let's play the game. I mean, I don't know anything about any of them to make a guess, but
you could
what do you two think? What put it in the comments if you're in the comments. Who do you think's in the Super Bowl, and what do you two think of the 4 teams? Who makes it to the big dance?
Be realistic as possible. If you're,
I think we're going to have a rematch of 2019. I think it's going to be San Francisco against Kansas City.
Oh, God, please no. But
and who wins?
Give me San Fran with the redemption.
Yeah. Bro, Brock Purdy, bro.
Just, and I'll freely admit, I want the Bengals to lose so I can make fun of Lucian Orange. I want the Eagles to lose because I fucking hate the Eagles. And I want Kansas City to lose so I can come in here and laugh at Brendan Pratt for Kansas City losing.
Now, Brock Purdy is a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's still starting still.
Who did he play for?
Iowa State. He was the last pick in the NFL draft.
I was wondering where I heard that name from.
Mr. Irrelevant, which is Mr. Relevant now. But
how did Mr. Irrelevant ended up being a starting quarterback on the Niners? That must be
that's a really good question considering they have a first-round draft pick quarterback sitting on the bench.
I know, right, bro? Why
they
would
still
you...
got Zach Wilson? Why'd you bother? If you're just going to set him on the bench, why draft him?
Zach Wilson or what's his name? Trey Lance.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I said Zach Wilson. Yeah, Trey Lance.
Yeah, I thought Trey Lance was going to start, but freaking reason. Now, if I were a San Francisco fan, yes, Purdy is really good, but give Trey Lance a shot in in a quarter or
well, I mean for a seventh round pick to get the start, actually see something in practice that says he's better.
Good to see you here. Oh, good.
Well, you had the point. You had a point, but I mean, 7th round pick. I mean, I'm not saying Purdy is bad, but I mean, most of 7th round picks are. I mean, some 7th round picks are not really good, and yeah, it's.
For the most part, no, they're not.
Yeah, I meant that, but some are good, man. Some, but not most. But
is it realistic that the Eagles can get to the Super Bowl, or is it just they've been running on borrowed time?
Yeah, absolutely, it's realistic they can make it, but I fucking hate the Eagles, so I hope they don't.
Yeah, me too. Like I hate the Cowboys or Cowgirls, for example. Everybody hates them, so. I even hate the Kansas City Chiefs. Not because of Patrick Mahomes. Well, actually, it's kind of part of it, but just the fans.
What the hell does this comment mean? I sometimes I really think that Rick Sanchez's brain vapor locks and
probably talking about those Jehovah's Witnesses that come knocking on your door at 6:30. Have you found Jesus?
Probably.
No, I'm Jewish. Fuck off.
I mean, when they show up at my house, I mean, you would think I would learn to look out the damn bedroom window first. Because I always thought it'd be funny to answer the door naked and be like, "No, why don't you come in and help me look for him?"
That's one of the reasons I installed a Simply Safe doorbell camera.
Do you have one of those not electric, but those fancy Ring, whatever called, where you have cameras on your front porch or whatever?
That's basically what he's talking about.
That's what I just said. It's a doorbell with a camera, yeah.
Oh.
I have a standalone camera over the front of the house. And
Sorry.
I just bought another camera that's going to cover the back of the house.
That's good. I have none of that, so I need those, or we need those. It's actually, I actually want to try because.
Where did that come from?
Bro, the Rick Sanchez brain, bro.
Yeah, one of these days I want to write a paper on Rick Sanchez's brain because I think that brain is wired really weird.
I want to know why Rick Sanchez would be celebrating Thanksgiving at all. Why would you celebrate the mass slaughter of indigenous peoples, sir? We don't need that kind of bigotry around here.
Yeah. He's.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving.
I mean, I think it's underrated, to be honest.
Because not only do you have, my family around, which is great, we get and good food, but afterwards,
You get
we make
leftovers
turkey soup out of the carcass.
and
So
turkey sandwiches.
and turkey sandwich, but the turkey soup is really good for like the cold,
Mhm.
relatively cold winter nights that we get here. Sort of
All right,
cold.
how do you cook your turkey, Saleen? Do you bake it?
Yeah, I use a one of those roasting bags.
Blasphemy, sir.
Huh?
Blasphemy.
Well, how would you do it?
There's only one way to cook turkey, and that's to fry it.
Oh, I would love to do a fried turkey. Unfortunately, well, it's a little scary, but also I don't have really a place to put the frying rig.
Sure you do.
Where, my driveway?
Where mine goes.
Well, you don't have an HOA. I do.
Yeah, I also have a middle finger.
Somebody did a fried turkey one year, and the next week a letter went out from the HOA saying, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And I've got a middle finger for the HOA.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. But I've got enough problems with them with my car. So
Yeah.
See, I thought about like just intentionally buying a house in an HOA just to piss them off. Because number one, I wouldn't sign their little funky ass contract anyway.
And where did we hear this, Jay?
Oh God. I think everyone's not everyone, but like chat's brains are dead. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
So so Jay heard from BVD that I'm backing out of the Slab Olympics. I haven't even talked to BVD about the Slab Olympics.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know Mayhem Matthews, Saleen. You probably do.
Mayhem Matt? No,
Mayhem.
I don't deal with Mayhem Matthew.
Okay.
Oh, come on. He's fun.
He's funny, but he's annoying though.
Oh no, he's fun.
I don't deal with him.
Okay.
And by the way, first of all, I do actually happen to have a dash cam in my Hyundai, Rick, because people around here drive so badly. If somebody whacks into me, I want video evidence that that it wasn't my fault.
Hey, my dash cam in my truck got me out of a ticket.
Yeah. And to address Jay's point or attempted point, if I did back out of the Slob Olympics, there would be a very good reason for me to back out of the Slob Olympics. And I would expect that people would understand and not think less of me if it came to that.
Yeah. See, I'm not a quitter, nor everyone should be not a quitter, but tell that to the opt-out players.
If I have to opt out of the Slob Olympics, there'll be a perfectly good reason for it. And
well, no, I'm just saying that.
And if nobody accepts that reason, well, you know what? My bed is right over here, and I will be sleeping in it and not lose a moment's sleep about it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to make a point where that I'm not a quitter like those college football players that opt out for the bowl season. So,
Saleen, how could you stand to live somewhere that is going to place rules on you on what you can and can't do in your own home?
Well, generally, I'm not a big fan of that, but I really like my house, and I don't have to do yard work because I'm really bad at it. And to be fair,
You get one of those robot lawnmowers now. You ain't got to do it.
Wait, what?
well, part of my HOA fee is they do all the yard work.
Wait, there's no freaking.
But also, to be fair, my HOA in the past few years the board members have changed over time. You know, they cycle out all, you know, because they either die or they move away or they get limited out of office. And the current crop of HOA board members are not terrible. So, you know, I could probably get away with trying to fry a turkey in the driveway. You know,
Well,
because fried turkey.
I'll tolerate somebody. I'll tolerate somebody telling me what I can or cannot fry in my driveway as soon as they make my mortgage payment for me.
Man, CJ definitely doesn't like Tom Brady.
Damn.
Yeah,
well,
greatness invokes that reaction out of people.
That does not make him unique in any sense of the word. Practically the entire NFL community seems to hate Tom Brady. So,
and
like I said, greatness invokes that reaction.
Yep.
No, Rick, you cannot call me Sammy. And I don't know what a Sammy is supposed to look like. I don't understand the comment. It makes no sense. But then again, most of what Rick Sanchez says makes no sense.
I know what Bob looks like.
Yeah, your HOA really wouldn't like me, because if they think frying a turkey in your driveway is bad, I've had neighbors complain for field dressing a damn deer in my driveway, and I don't even have an HOA.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently their kids were upset that they saw it. I said, well, maybe you should butcher up a few more animals in front of your kids and they won't be so sensitive.
Yep.
Ain't like I dumped the guts in their yard or anything.
Well, the reason I put who there is my own reasoning. So, you know. Would you prefer I put what? I mean, I could change it. Let me hear. There. Is that better?
Yeah.
It's my channel. I'll do what I want.
Yeah, but you can't do what you want at your house, though.
Yeah, well.
So, if the HOA may have something to say about what you do on your channel.
Yeah. Hang on. That was my beloved keyboard. My old style clicky keyboard that weighs 5 pounds and is better than the mush boards that you guys are forced to use.
Sounded like a horse on a cobblestone street.
I don't care what it sounds like. I can type twice as fast on this keyboard as I can on the keyboard that came with my Mac.
Well, there's your first problem right there. You're using a Mac.
This is not a problem, sir. This is an advantage.
I can't stand Apple's operating system.
I got to tell you, I mean, I've used Windows and I've used Apple, Mac OS. They're both point and click stuff. What's the difference? You know, the way to close a window is in the upper left of a Mac window, and it's in the upper right of a Windows window. They use similar shortcut keystrokes, for various things. They both do copy, cut, paste. They both open multiple windows at the same time. And they both run out of resources real fast when you're trying to do video editing. So the main advantage for Mac for me is they're easier to maintain and they're harder to hack.
Yeah, well, stay off all those dirty websites. You won't have to worry about being hacked.
What would I do without Pornhub? I'd be bored.
Well, I understand that, but sometimes sacrifices are required.
Or xvideos.com. Miss all my friends.
What's bad is you can recite these off the top of your head.
Or red tubes. Or what is this genius remark from Hoagie? Wait a minute here.
We're apparently
actually Hoagie Macs are a lot less expensive than they used to be. So you don't have to pay the Uber premium that you used to for a Mac. And I got to tell you, this is only the second iMac I've ever bought. The first one lasted me 10 years. And the only reason I got rid of it is because it was too slow for working videos. And the one I'm using now, I've had since 2017. And it's working great. I see no reason to get rid of it. Maybe if they came out with, something really, super great, that I just had to have, I'd probably replace it. But replacing a computer can be kind of a pain in the ass. So, I mean, hell, I've got an iPhone 10 over here, and that's now 4 generations back from the current stuff. No reason to get rid of it.
Well, there's plenty of reason to get rid of an iPhone. It's a children's toy.
Oh Jesus! So I should be calling you Slim Shady Lou?
No, that's just something we happen to agree on.
Well, since you don't agree with Lou about very much, I suppose I should be grateful that there's something. I don't understand why people call the iPhone a toy. I mean, I've seen both Androids and iPhones working. I mean, my kid, let's see. The older daughter still uses an Android. The younger one just recently went from an Android to an iPhone. She says they do the same thing. They work about the same. So I don't get why people get all hot and bothered about iPhone versus Android. I stay with the iPhone because I'm used to it and used to the way it does business. It integrates better with this computer. If I had a PC, I'd probably go with Android because it wouldn't matter either way. But since the iPhone integrates with the iMac much better, I stay that way.
I'm just not a fan of Apple products, period.
I understand. I'm not a big fan of the way Apple runs its company. I mean, the leadership on there is uber left, and
I'm not even talking about that perspective. I just iPhones, iPads, iPods.
I'm not a fan. iPods anymore.
Well, I get it, but I mean, I'm just saying, I've never been a fan of Apple products.
Yeah, I understand. And I have people, kid with me all the time who says, you're a conservative / libertarian and you own computer products from a far left wing company that advocates for all kinds of stuff that you disagree with.
They're all far left wing companies. So I mean,
yeah, I made that point to a few people, but I said, you know what? if little old me stops buying Apple products, what would that be, like 1/10000000% of their profit margin for the year? I mean, it doesn't. Me going from one company to another doesn't matter to their bottom line. The products work for me. That's I'm not a big fan of Robert De Niro. I think he's an arrogant putz in non-acting life. I think his remarks about Trump were were way over the top and unnecessary. But I enjoy his work. I mean, I have movies in my DVD stash in the other room over there, with plenty of movies with De Niro in them. Godfather, 2, Casino, a few others. Just because I think De Niro, in real life is an asshole, doesn't mean that I'm going to skip the movie just because he's in it. I mean, if I decide not to partake of a movie that De Niro is in, is that going to make any difference? No. So why should I deprive myself of?
Well, I mean, if you're going to not watch every actor that's an asshole, you're probably not going to watch any of them.
Now, do I, like, for example, clothing. I don't buy Nike clothing or shoes if I can avoid it, and I can, because I don't like the stance they've taken on multiple things. Do I think that's going to make a difference to Nike that I don't buy their shit? Or I don't watch the No Fun League because I don't believe in what they're doing, and I think the way they produce their product nowadays is effeminate and crappy. I know logically it doesn't matter, but it's a choice that I can make that's easy enough to make. And I can pick and choose what I want to do with respect to supporting a company or not supporting a company.
I mean, I'm with you in that respect, but I mean, I don't wear Nikes. I wear Adidas. And I'm working under the assumption that they're just as bad.
Yeah, they probably all are just as bad, but one of them is more overtly bad than the other. And, it's easy enough to avoid Nike. There's plenty of other people that make shirts and shoes and pants and other stuff. Well, I don't even know what that means, Rick. New Balance, it's just another shoe company to me. I think my current sneaker of choice is made by Adidas, actually.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't spend that much time worrying about fucking tennis shoes because I hardly ever wear them.
It's a good point. I wear shoes that are comfortable and don't look bad.
Well, I mean, I have to wear boots on a daily basis. So.
Well, yeah, I figured that. I mean, that's a safety thing, really. Steel-toed?
They're composite.
Yeah. Are they work boots or cowboy boots?
I mean, I guess they're styled like cowboy boots, I guess.
And Rick and Jay, I don't even know what British Knights is. What is that? I've heard of New Balance. I've never heard of something called British Knights.
How about Keens?
Who?
Keen. Or Keens, whatever it's called.
City in New Hampshire?
No, it's a hiking boot company.
I don't wear hiking boots.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you said before. Sorry.
Yeah, there's really nowhere to hike to in Central Florida.
Huh?
I said there's really nowhere to hike to in Central Florida.
No, there really isn't. It's all kind of flatland stuff. Memory foams?
The hell is that company?
I don't know. I think Jay and Rick are sharing the same strangely wired brain today. I don't understand what's going on with these two, but whatever. My head hurts. I've had a headache all day. Surprised I've lasted this long. Anyway. Memory foam. I don't. Memory foam is for beds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they make memory foam shoes? I mean,
I'm sure they make memory foam insoles. I'm sure.
Yeah, this must be a new thing or something.
Maybe they're trying to make sure you get all the ankle support you need.
Geriatric shoes. I'm not a geriatric. Sorry, not there yet.
You're leaning on it pretty hard.
I don't have memory foam in my shoes. No. Uncle Lou pipes in with a crack about Florida. Okay, Lou thinks Florida will be worse in 23 than in 22. Okay. Noted.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh.
I hate stupid people, I swear.
Well, which one? I think we have our pick of the litter here.
Yeah, well, I'm unfortunately I'm at a truck stop, so I'm surrounded by stupid.
Oh, okay. No. I'm sitting in my house, so the only stupid people that I'm seeing or will see would be on here. So,
this guy's been trying to back into the same fucking parking spot for 10 minutes.
Is he from Swift?
Actually, no. Not gonna lie, that'd be my first guess too, though.
There's two trucking companies seem to have a really bad reputation. I forgot the name of the other one, but Swift seems to be the butt of everybody's trucking jokes.
Well, they're gonna be because they're by far the biggest.
Isn't there another one though?
Well, there's a few vying for that title of second place. Western Express is normally at the top of the list.
No, that's not one of them. That's not the one I've heard. I can't think of it.
Well, as far as what truck drivers talk about, they're definitely one of them.
Oh, okay, well, not Hunt. Thank you, Rick. That was the other one.
Oh, JB Hunt. Like I said, they've got a bad reputation, yes, but for a different reason.
What reason?
At least treating truck drivers like shit.
Oh. Is it better to be an independent, or is it better to be working for a company?
Well, that's all a matter. That's all a matter of perspective. I don't want the headaches. Well, I put it like this: I don't think there's the money in being an owner operator anymore that there used to be.
Well, would one of the I'm trying to learn here. Would one of the advantages of working for a trucking company like a Swift or a Hunt or whatever, one of the advantages there's guaranteed loads?
Yeah, well, no, there's not. Nobody's got guaranteed loads.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Swift's big enough. you might as well say it's guaranteed. Here's the thing, though, and this is what a lot of companies do, including the one that I work for. I've got guaranteed minimums. So even if I don't work for because we get paid every 2 weeks, even if I don't work for 2 weeks, I've got a guaranteed minimum paycheck coming.
Okay. And what do they pay you by? Mileage, load weight?
With us, it varies because we do so much different stuff. Like what I'm doing today, I get a percentage of the load. When I'm running flatbed, it's 57 cents a mile. And then when we run for Nexair, as long as it's not a layover, so as long as you're going to be back that day, it's paid by the hour, and it's like $27.50 an hour.
I guess Lou just popped in to make that that one remark and then left.
It happens.
And a new face, a new name I've never seen before, Soul Dog. Never seen that before. Well, how you doing, Soul Dog? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Megan is here. A rare appearance by Megan. And Colby the Purple Watch guy has showed up. Oh, it's Soul Dog is Tennille. Oh, haven't seen Tennille in a while. Well, good to see you, Tennille. I appreciate you being here. I wonder if Colby still has that purple watch I sold him.
I hope not. I hope nobody has a purple watch.
Well, it's a nice purple. It's a
there's no such thing.
It's a G-Shock, so it's actually a very subtle purple. It's not like, so bright Stevie Wonder could see it purple, but it's
I'm not sure if there's such thing as a subtle purple watch.
Well, let me find a picture of it. I'll show you. He says he does. Okay. Hang on. Let's see. G-Shock. It's spelled Tokyo.
Tokyo.
That's right. And working on it. That's not a bad picture. Let's see if I can there we go. You see that?
Yeah, it's about as subtle as a dump truck.
I don't know. It's not a terribly bright. In person, it's a little more subdued.
Well, I get it, but I mean, just a purple watch on anybody's wrist is not subtle.
Yeah, no. Well, as long as Colby likes it, I guess that's all that matters.
Right, to each their own.
And he says he still has the other G-Shock that he won. I think he won that one. That was the infamous. I ended up sending him a counterfeit G-Shock. G-Shock.
I thought that was somebody else.
No, that was me. He won a G-Shock in a.
Well, I know it was you, but I thought it was somebody. I thought it was somebody other than Colby won.
No, it was Colby. I sent him the G-Shock, and then I did a video of it, and then like 3 people send me comments saying that's a fake G-Shock. And then I investigated it a little more, and I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that." So I
You
took
got
the
God,
video
sir.
down. I informed Colby immediately. I got a real G-Shock, sent it to him. I don't remember what he did with the fake one. I think he gave it to a cousin or something. I told him to take a hammer to it, but
I mean, that's okay. I mean, it could be worse. Like that watch guy sent you the video of. I'm subscribed to him. He got sold a fake AP Royal Oak.
which one was that?
Nico Leonard. He runs Pride and Pinion out of Dublin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he ended up buying a fake Royal Oak for, I don't know, somewhere around $250,000.
Yeah, the higher you go in the watch world, with respect to, I mean, they'll counterfeit anything. As you can see, they counterfeited a $45 G-Shock. I mean,
Yep.
who the hell wants to counterfeit a G-Shock? But they did. But the higher you go in the watch world, the more research you got to do, and the more you've got to find trusted sources that help you with making sure that the watch you're getting isn't counterfeit. Fortunately, I have not been burned on the higher end stuff, but I do know people that have been. Not to the level of $250,000 Audemars Piguet, but I do know one guy that got burned on a Rolex Submariner. Turned out to be a counterfeit, and a very good one, by the way. It fooled him, and he knows his shit. But when it came down to it, something wasn't quite right. So he took it apart and found out, oh, it was a Swiss movement, but it was an ETA movement. Rolex has long ago gone to in-house movements. So he got screwed. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over but the crying at that point.
Well, he reported the seller to the third party website that he got it from, and they obviously banned the seller from the site. But that doesn't mean anything, as you well know. You know, how many trolls have I killed on this channel alone, and they just make up a new screen name and create a new account, and they're back up and running in here in about 3 minutes.
Well, but see, that's where, and I'm sure there are other sites that do it, but I'll just use eBay as an example. I mean, that's why everybody on there has a seller rating.
Mm-hmm.
And
eBay, and oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't buy anything from anybody if it's below 98%.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I've never got burned.
And eBay, when it comes to high-end stuff, whether it's high-end watches or jewelry or things like that, they have a program now. It's a buyer protection program, essentially. Let's say I buy a Rolex from somebody on eBay. Normally, in the old days, the Rolex would have come to me directly, and the money would have already changed hands. Now, the money goes into an escrow account.
Yeah.
And the money goes in escrow. The watch goes to eBay, to third-party verification folks that eBay has hired for, specialists in Rolex, specialists in Tiffany jewelry, specialists in Wedgwood, China, or whatever. And they inspect the product, and they do their checks and make sure that it's authentic. If it's authentic, then they tag it and repackage it and send it to the buyer.
Right.
And then once you get the product and you open it and you're satisfied, then you send a message to eBay to release the money from escrow.
Hey, I bought a couple of watches off of eBay, and I haven't gotten burned.
I'm glad. I don't buy anything. I don't buy really anything anymore off of eBay. At that
I like
level.
a deal, and you can find. I bought a Hamilton off eBay.
Hamilton makes an excellent watch. Now I bought some. Like recently, I bought a Breitling. Actually, I'm wearing it right now. I bought it off of another website called Chrono24, which does the escrow thing, and they do that thing. But the watch came to me with no paperwork, and I knew it didn't have any paperwork when I bought it. But I went on eBay and found the manual, found the slide rule manual, the international warranty booklet, a couple other things that are normally come with a Breitling, and I bought all those individual pieces to get what's called full kit. So now this watch that came to me without full kit now has full kit. And if I decide to sell it, that makes selling it easier. So that type of stuff off of eBay is stuff I do now, but I don't buy watches off of eBay. It's too risky.
Yeah, well, I bought a few. I've done all right.
I'm glad. I'm sincerely glad because.
Well, like I said, if it's I don't buy from anybody with a seller rating, like I said, below 98%, and then
another
like
good
said,
rule.
Yeah, and then like you said, eBay kind of covers you now, so it's a lot less to worry about, and you can find some hellified deals on there. Like I said, it's an automatic Hamilton. And I'll just use it as an example. It's the bronze case automatic Hamilton.
Yep.
That's got it's their day date basically. It's got the day up at the about 6 o'clock position, and then it's got the date at the 3, about like the Rolex does.
Well, the Rolex puts the day at the 12 o'clock, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hoagie asked you a question. Where do I buy my watches at online? Depends on the watch. All the watches I have from a company called Zelos, which is my favorite micro brand. I buy them directly. Shut up.
The hell was that?
He's bored, so when he's bored, he makes a fart sound and then leaves. So he has no patience. My Zelos watches I buy directly from Zelos, or I buy them off of the Zelos Timekeeper group on Facebook. The higher end stuff, I usually either buy it from European Watch Company or Chrono24 or a watch forum called Watch You Seek. Those are my primary go-to places for watch purchase. Another good rule of thumb with eBay is do not buy from an overseas seller unless they're in a country that is reputable. Like, for instance, I would never buy from somebody who is located in Brazil or Italy, Russia, really any Eastern European country. I will buy from Canada, the UK, France.
My Seiko came from Japan. Now that you bring that up,
Japan is a good Japan, Taiwan.
Which Seiko is a Japanese-based company, so it actually kind of makes sense.
Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Indonesia isn't bad. I would avoid Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam.
What about the Middle East?
Well, some of the Arab countries are okay. Saudi Arabia is fairly stable. Israel is a good place to buy from, but UAE isn't bad. Dubai. Most of the other countries in the Middle East are too unstable. Like shit just disappear. If you buy from Russia or Italy or Brazil, you have a very, very good chance of never seeing your goods ever.
Like I said, I bought one internationally. It came from Japan. It was that Seiko I told you that I bought.
For one thing, Hoagie, if you buy from Italy, their government is so unstable, and their shipping stuff is run mostly by the government. Thank God they're not on the lira anymore. They are on the euro, so that's a little bit better. But Italy has such it's such an unstable country with respect to getting things done that you may never see your product again. And as bad as Italy is, Brazil is worse. The one time I bought a watch from Brazil, it took 3 months to get the watch, and 1 week out of the 3 months was transition time. The rest of the time, it made it to a shipper's warehouse and then sat for 2 months and 3 weeks and never moved. And then and I've heard similar stories from other folks from buying stuff from Brazil. And Russia is so corrupt that they'll just take your money and ghost you. So
now I've never bought watches from Russia, but there's a website I do business with for gun parts, and he's gotten a hold of a lot of Russian military surplus stuff, and I bought from him. Now he's still based in Russia, but I've never had any problems.
Well, that's good. I'm glad, but I'm just going by my experience and the experience of about 24 different people that I'm friends with that do business all over the world in all kinds of things, whether it's watches. I know some of my friends who collect watches also collect razors, pens, mechanical pencils, all kinds of stuff. And Raj, and they you learn,
right?
You learn where you can do business safely and where you can't. Caribbean is not a bad place to do business. Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, that's my only experience is buying Russian made parts, because I have a Russian made AK, so I wanted, even though it's technically not legal, I wanted Russian made parts on it. I didn't want to put a bunch of American made parts. I wanted the authentic Russian parts on it.
Are you on a no-fly list?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I've never gone to fill out the paperwork to get off of it.
How'd you get on it?
Nah, ain't no doubt. How did Ted Kennedy get on it? Who the hell knows?
Well, probably because he killed someone.
Yeah, well, that was 30 years before there was a no-fly list. So
yeah, but he might try and drown someone on the airplane. You never know. Retirement communities are good businesses. This is true. I've heard that retirement communities are good places to do business. But since I don't live in a retirement community, I wouldn't know for sure.
And no, Colby, I've never bought a gun from Russia. I just bought parts from Russia, because that's where the gun was made. The gun was legally imported back in the 90s. Or actually, no, it had to have even been before that. Or, well, could have been after. Could have been early 2000s when all that crap went away.
By the way, since you are a gun aficionado, I and since I was too lazy to look this up earlier, what does AR stand for?
Armalite rifle.
That's what I thought.
Because that was the original manufacturer of them.
Do you believe that Geraldo Rivera on TV the other night actually said on live TV that AR stood for automatic rifle and stood by that for a good 10 minutes until somebody proved him wrong?
Yeah, well,
that's how dumb he is.
That's far from the dumbest thing Geraldo Rivera's ever said. But
oh, I know that. I mean, Geraldo Rivera's career jumped the shark back when he did the
Al Capone save.
Yeah, his career has been deader than Kelsey's nuts.
Well, and a lot of people like to throw around assault rifle. Well, that actually is a legal term. The legal definition of an assault rifle is a rifle that's capable of fully automatic fire, and AR-15s aren't.
I will never understand why somebody can think that a rifle that shoots .223 bullets is considered a weapon of war. Excuse me, weapons of war fire 7.62.
Well, not even that. Name a single gun that was not designed for war. I'll wait.
There's no such thing.
Exactly.
They're all made for war.
So you have a whole bunch of people that have no clue what they're talking about, trying to make decisions on this shit.
Unfortunately, they're all the shouty people that suck up all the air in the room.
I just give them all the rope they need to hang themselves. It's fun.
I love it when they try and define what a magazine versus a magazine versus a
clip.
They try and dig themselves out of that hole.
Well, I can pull an M1 Garand out of my safe and show them the difference.
Well, just for the people who might be watching this now or later, what is the difference, Slim?
Well,
use short, easy words.
I'm trying to think of the easiest way to explain this. Visual aids usually help, but
yeah.
Magazine is standard as for what's used now for basically any gun. You know what you stick the bullets into.
Yeah.
And the correct term is a stripper clip. I think the most common thing that people would have seen them used in would have been the Garand, where you line it up with the open bolt on the top, you push all your bullets down into it, and then the little clip on the back that they're all attached to falls off.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So you get all that, people? Who knows? I just like to listen to non-gun people just talk about. I mean, I'm not a gun person by any stretch of the imagination. I have one gun. That's it. The little 40 cal Springfield. Well, not so little, but just over there in a safe. And it serves a purpose.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. And actually, the other day I was talking with somebody locally. We're talking about gun safety and all that crap, and they're not anti-gun per se, but they seem to think that guns. They're under the impression that guns kill people. And I gave him the same challenge I give to any of these gun grabbing morons. I said, okay, I got $1,000. I'll write you a check for $1,000 to the charity of your choice. Here's the challenge. I'm going to take a gun, any gun. You can pick the gun. It can be an AR, it can be a shotgun, it can be a pistol, any gun you want. I'm going to load it. Hell, I'll even cock the gun and make it hot. So it'll be a hot gun. And then I'm going to put it on a table. And I'm going to walk away. And so are you. And we can wait a minute, an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years. And as long as nobody picks up that gun and pulls the trigger, nobody will get hurt by that gun. Nobody. And if somebody somehow that gun, without anyone picking it up and pulling the trigger, goes off and hurts somebody, you get the $1,000 to your favorite charity. Even the most ardent anti-gun, gun-grabbing goofball won't take that challenge. Because a gun is just a tool. Gun's a tool. Gun's a tool like a hammer or a screwdriver or a knife or a car or whatever. All the things I just mentioned, guns, knives, hammer, screwdriver, a car, they can all kill people, but they all have to be made to kill people. They all have to be interacted with by what?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes. Cars kill a whole lot more people than guns do.
Yes, but what do all 5 of those things and more have to be interacted with in order for them to do harm? Say it with me, Slim. A person. People. It is not the tool. It is the person that wields the tool.
Well, here's how dumb the argument really comes down to. Because, like you said, they like to focus on AR-15s.
How you doing, Big Rest? Good to see you, man.
That's less than 1% of gun deaths every year. So you're focused on banning less than 1% of the problem continuously, year after year after year. So that says to me you're a lying piece of shit and you're not actually trying to fix anything.
Yep. Good to see you here, Matt. Appreciate you stopping by.
Well, Rick Sanchez, that would work, but you don't have a right to drive a car. Driving a car is a privilege. You do have a right to own guns.
And please don't go down the Sovsit route about traveling. I will kick you off right now.
You can travel all you want, but driving a car is a privilege.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you do have to get permits to carry a gun. No. Hell, when I bought my gun, I had to fill out paperwork. I mean, the way it worked with me, I bought my gun over the internet. It got shipped to a local gun shop here in Sarasota. And then I went and then I went into the gun and before and when, let's see, how did it work? I got a tracking number and the tracking number and information said, okay, go to this gun shop where we're shipping it now, fill out this paperwork. And by the time the gun shows up at the shop, the paperwork will have already been processed and you get approved for owning the gun.
All right, Rick. Yes, I think absolutely everybody should be. Myself, I've gone through probably 8 or 9 different NRA certified courses beyond the firearms training I had when I worked corrections, which was exactly the same firearms training that police officers get. Here's a dirty little secret that a lot of people don't seem to want to admit to. There are consequences to living in a free society. And one of those consequences is people are going to use their freedoms in ways that you don't like and that you don't agree with.
Hoagie, I don't think that former felons should own guns. Now, maybe you can make a case for nonviolent felons, but you have to be a little more specific than that. But I think, I personally think that once you've committed a felony, convicted, and you are convicted of said felony, you lose a lot of rights. Even after you get out of prison, you've lost some of those rights that you had as a citizen for the rest of your life. And
there are about 10 or 12 states, and Tennessee is one of them, that convicted felons are absolutely allowed to own a rifle or a shotgun. Doesn't matter the felony.
I'm not really comfortable with that. Wait a minute. Come on, man. How am I canceling people? If you committed a felony, you have decided that you do not have to obey laws. You were caught, you were tried, you were convicted by a judge or jury of your peers, and you went to prison. You therefore have proven to society that you cannot be trusted with certain rights that you and I and Slim and everyone else are entrusted with. And one of those things being right to keep and bear arms. I'm not comfortable with a convicted felon keeping and bearing guns. That's me personally.
Well, and here's to go even a step beyond that. Even convicted felons in every state are allowed to own certain guns. Like I said, you've got about 10 or 12 that allow convicted felons to own any rifle or shotgun they want. But anything that's considered a primitive weapon, so any muzzle loading rifle, any muzzle loading pistol, any muzzle loading shotgun, anybody can go buy those at any time, felon or not. There's not even background checks run for those. There's also not background checks run for any gun manufactured before 1898, which you got a whole lot of lever actions and revolvers in circulation before 1898. Background checks aren't run for those.
Oh, well, I don't know, Hoagie. Like I said, I'm not comfortable with somebody with a felony on their record owning a gun. But again, just me. Just me. Y'all might feel differently, and that's fine.
I've got kind of a mixed opinion on it. I mean, in general, I would agree with you, but there are absolutely innocent people that get convicted.
True. It's not a perfect system.
No, it's not, but it's better than any other anywhere. But, on top of that, I also still think you have a right to defend yourself. So, like I said, I've kind of got...
I absolutely agree. I'm just not terribly comfortable with somebody that decided at one point in their lives to flaunt the law, got caught, got convicted. Now, there's the argument that, well, they got caught, they got convicted, they went to jail, they did their time, they repaid their debt to society, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's a valid argument. Still, not terribly comfortable with a convicted felon owning a firearm. I realize there are laws on the books that allow convicted felons in cases to own firearms, and I understand that.
I'll let somebody else fight that battle. That ain't my problem. I'm not a convicted felon.
Yeah, neither am I. Unless speeding is considered a felony.
But see, here's what's funny though. Here's where they get you. Like I said, Tennessee is one of a handful of states that, you know, allows convicted felons to own rifles and shotguns. But there's no way for them to buy one. And because you have to fill out a federal form to buy it, obviously, because you're going through a federal background check.
Well, it worked for Hunter Biden, didn't it?
And then it's also a federal crime to buy or sell a gun to somebody that you know is a convicted felon.
Unless your name is Hunter Biden.
Well,
But
so that's where you're getting into federal law versus state law. What mood is ATF in today?
That's a good question, CJ. Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with teachers arming themselves, as long as they could demonstrate that they had proper training on the use of said weapon and the storing safely of said weapon. I think it would be, maybe that should be considered a last resort. I think maybe doors to the classroom should be automatically lockable from a central location in the case of a school shooter on campus. One button at the central office automatically locks the doors and make the doors strong enough to stand up to the assault of a determined gunman.
Well, there's a real easy solution to this problem, and Saleen, I'll use your people. You put fucking security in goddamn schools.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
you go to every school in Israel, and there is military personnel posted up at those schools.
And by the way, they're carrying semi-automatics or even full automatics.
They're carrying fully automatic Israeli Tabors, is what they're carrying.
I am a big proponent of schools, and I can guarantee you there are plenty of ex-military who have training, ex-cops or off-duty cops who have training. And I know that there are probably plenty of them that would volunteer their time to patrol the schools for a few hours a day in a voluntary capacity. I'm very much in favor of on-campus armed security. I think that's an excellent idea. I know local schools here in Sarasota County, they have a resource officer, which is basically a Sarasota County deputy.
I'm not talking about some 350-pound, 55-year-old fixing to retire cop.
No, the cops that they have at the schools here are, experienced, young, in shape, male and female officers. And they've also put in fencing with limited gate access and all around the perimeter of all the schools in this area.
Okay, now I'm gonna piss a bunch of people off. I don't think that there should be female officers in schools.
Well,
or on the streets for that matter.
No, that's a losing argument, unfortunately.
No, I mean that's fine, but it's just my opinion. They're not capable.
Well, I'll tell you something. The female
for the exact same reason, there shouldn't be females on the frontline combat. For the exact same reason, they're just not capable.
I know this much though: the female officer that is patrolling the school that my older daughter works at as a teacher, she's rather intimidating looking. I mean, she's a tall, she's in great shape. She is a tall,
that's fine.
serious looking woman.
It doesn't matter what kind of shape she's in. If I don't want to go in handcuffs, she's not getting me in handcuffs without help.
Well, that may be. That may be. But this is one woman I wouldn't want to piss off. I gotta tell you that much. But anyway, Slim, I got to go. It is that time.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the all the discussions. Especially the gun discussion. But as I always say, this is the channel about we talk about nothing in particular, and we've proven it once again. So, and Lou just put a video up: Georgia Bulldog football garbage schedule for 2023, and something about it. The man never stops. I'm telling you, man never stops. Hoagie, I don't know what's for dinner tonight. My mom is making dinner tonight. So she said to me the other night, I'm so glad that you come over for dinner every night because I'm afraid if you didn't come over, I wouldn't eat. The woman is not doing alone very well. I got to say, I hope she starts to get better about it. But
that's understandable.
Yeah, it is because she didn't do alone for as long as I was alive. So it's hard to go from almost 60 years of having somebody around to not. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, Slim. I appreciate it. As always, entertaining and informative. And you stay safe in East St. Louis, for God's sake.
I'm trying.
I know.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by here. I appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please click that thumbs up on the way out. That does help out. And I hope you found this 120th episode of Wednesday Afternoon Live entertaining as usual. I did. I enjoyed it. We'll try and do it again next week. That would be episode 121. It'll be the first episode of February. So that's neat. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Good rest of the week. If you're in California, be careful out there. It seems that they're doing a lot of mass shootings around there, so be careful. If you're running around the northern parts of the country, stay warm. Looks like another weekend of bomb cyclones, and rivers in the atmosphere, and global warming's coming to get you in the form of winter storms and snow. But, that damn global warming going to get you every time. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of the evening. Peace.